Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a palette I almost bought but then didn't. I am a big fanatic of eyeshadow palettes. I'm always buying eyeshadow palettes even though I have plenty in my collection. But eyeshadow palettes is what I gravitate towards. If I like the color story, I will most likely end up picking a eyeshadow palette up. So definitely wanted to do this video for you guys. So there are palettes I was eyeing but then I never picked up. So if you want to know what those palettes are, definitely continue watching. Also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I upload every single day for 12 days straight for now. Usually it's 3 times a week, but yeah, I'm going to be uploading 12 videos for Vlogmas. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. And let's just go ahead and jump right in. I do want to mention that I got this video idea from Teresa's Dead and in collab with Angelica Nevequist. I'm not sure how to say your last name, but they did a collab. They also did this type of video, so I will link both of their videos down in the description box if you guys want to check them out. I'm sure you guys already checked out their videos. They're pretty popular here on the tube. So again, I'll link both of their videos down below so you guys can check those out. But the first palette I'm going to share with you guys that I was going to pick up, I've been eyeing it, but I didn't buy it, is the Tinkerbell palette by ColourPop. I think it's so beautiful. Like, the color story is pretty unique, but like the packaging is just really, really pretty. I have a friend that actually really likes Tinkerbell and I've debated on buying the palette for her, but she's not really an eyeshadow wearer. She's more of complexion products than eyeshadow, so I haven't bought it yet, but I think this palette's really, really pretty. Again, I love the color story. I love the packaging. I just feel like I will most likely use this a few times and then it'll just sit in my collection. So that is definitely one that I wanted to pick up. Another palette by ColourPop that I've been eyeing as well, and I really wanted to pick it up, and then I'm like, I'm gonna wait for the Black Friday sale so I can pick it up, and I just never did. I changed my mind on it, and it was the Of Quartz palette. I really like the pop of blue in there. I may still get it, or maybe Santa will bring it, but yeah, that is one that I was eyeing, and I was going to pick it up again during Black Friday, and I just never went to the ColourPop website, so I never grabbed it. Again, this is a palette I almost bought but then didn't. It's definitely caught my eye. I think it's definitely more of a cool tone palette, and I don't have very many cool tone shadows in my collection. I probably do, just scattered around a whole bunch of palettes, but I don't have a ton of actual like cool tone palettes in my collection. So I was definitely interested in that. Again, I just decided not to. I was looking for the BH Cosmetics Poison. I think it's the Poison palette. I'm not sure. I'm looking on the Ulta site, but I can't find it. But this one from BH Cosmetics is another one that I almost bought, but then didn't, which is the Remix Dance 90s. It's a 15 color shadow palette. I love the colors. Like, it's been in my cart and I've taken it out and put it back in. I just don't pull the trigger on it, but I think eventually maybe I will, because I like using my Ulta points, so maybe that'll be something that I'll like throw in. But I like that it has like a row of neutrals, and then it has a row of bright shades, and then a row of bright shimmers. And I've heard really good things about this palette, so I'm definitely still kind of interested, but this has definitely been one that's been in and out of my cart a few times, and I heard the quality is really nice. So BH Cosmetics stepping up their formula, so definitely interested in that. Another one that I kept debating on was the Be Perfect palette in collab with Stacey Marie, their newest collab, the Antidote palette. Antidote, I think that's how you say it. I think it's really pretty. I actually really like the rosy colors in the palette. I feel like I have a lot of greens and like orangey red palettes in my collection, so I kind of debated to pick it up. That one I do remember putting in the cart, and then I just never checked out. I think the palette's going to be pretty big. I think it has a few more shades than the Carnival 3, and I have that one, and it's pretty big. I definitely have been holding off. I don't think I'm going to pick that up again, just because I feel like it has a lot of greens and a lot of orange and reds. I really like the middle section, but again, I just have so many palettes in my collection. I definitely have dupes for all the shades in there. I'm wanting to pick up more color stories that are more unique to my collection than anything, so I don't feel like that palette's really that unique for what I have. So next up, Glam Light. On my eyes, I'm actually wearing the Michaela Glam Light collab. I think the shadows, the shimmers have been really beautiful. I just haven't been impressed with the mattes in the palette. I don't know. There's a few shades in there that I haven't really been impressed with. I've been using more of the neutral shades on the tops. I haven't really been using the brights besides like this dark, bright purple on the outer corner that I have. And that one worked out pretty well, but a lot of the mattes, neutrals, like the orangey ones on the top row, they were kind of dry. They weren't very pigmented, and trying that palette kind of made me not want to pick up more during Black Friday, which I'm talking about the happy hour palettes. I was definitely interested. I know the green one's Dirty Martini, but I don't know what the neutral one is called. Maybe chocolate something. I don't know what it's called. Maybe chocolate martini. I'm not sure. But I was interested in both of those. But after trying that Michaela palette, I just wasn't impressed with the mattes to go ahead and place an order online. Even though the sale was 40% off, that was a really good deal. And I don't even know if the quality was better than that Michaela palette, but I ended up passing. Again, I was definitely eyeing when it first came out, and then I waited a few weeks and figured I've waited this long, I might as well wait for a sale before I pick them up. So again, I was eyeing it, but I didn't buy it. This one, I was kind of shocked that it wasn't better than what it actually was. So this one, I was definitely interested in picking it up even without seeing what the inside looked like when she first announced that she was going to collab with a brand. And I was really excited. I'm talking about Doodle the Bunny on Instagram. She comes out with so many cool color stories, and I definitely would pick up a whole bunch of the palettes that she has on her Instagram page. But when I found out about her collab and saw the inside and the color story, which totally makes sense because I believe the palette's called Poison Ivy. There's a lot of greens in there, but I don't know. I was just expecting something better. I haven't even watched any videos on how good the quality was on the palette or how good the palette was, but just by looking at the color story, I definitely wasn't interested. I was initially interested to pick it up because I knew she would probably have a really cool color story, but then once I saw the actual color story, I was kind of underwhelmed, to be honest. I have two more palettes to share with you guys. The next one that I don't know why I fell into the hype on this palette. Both of them, actually. Like, I fell into the hype of wanting to pick it up, adding them to my cart, and then never checking out. I guess that's what's been happening with all of these other palettes, huh? That's why this video is called Palettes I Was Going to Buy But Then Didn't. Duh. Anyways, the next palette I want to talk to you guys about is the Denissa Myricks palette. I'm not sure what it's called. When I saw it, I was like, ooh, let me pick it up. Duochromes. How cool. Like a palette full of duochromes. Definitely need it. Again, add to cart. I was really looking at the color story and thought, I don't think I'm going to use like half of the shades in here. And this palette's really expensive. I believe it was like over $150. So I was like, no, like hold your horses, think about it. Do you really want to spend this much money on a palette that you might not get that much use out of? So again, I didn't buy it, but I think it was more of people hyping it up and saying how cool, like you're getting so many duochromes in one palette, and it was like a good price range. I don't know. I didn't buy it, obviously. That's why it's in this video. And then lastly, I do have a freaking cold right now. I am obsessed with these Starbucks tumblers. I have 5 now. I had 0 in the past month. I'm like obsessed. I'm buying them from Poshmark. I've joined a freaking Starbucks group. If my voice sounds kind of dry or raspy, it's because I'm like getting rid of this cold I have. Anyways, the last palette is it's a palette, but it's not an eyeshadow palette. It's actually a blush palette. This has been in my cart, or not anymore, but before when it first launched, it was in my cart a few times. And I think it was more of people really hyping this palette up, and I've never tried the blushes. Let me say what it is. It's the Patrick Top Blush Palette. A lot of people was hyping this up. A lot of people really love it. I wanted it because everybody was like, this is such a great deal, which it was because it's $58 for the palette. But probably 4 of the 6 shades in there I would not really use often. I really only like the last shades in the palette, the like more darker nude colors. So instead of buying the palette, I decided to pick up a duo that I actually used, which I did end up buying, She's So LA, and I love it. I really love it, but I'm actually really happy I didn't pick up the blush palette because again, those pinky tones, it's not really me. I'm more of like pinky nude colors for everyday use, and those were really like hot pink blushes that I will most likely not be using again. So that is the last palette. I definitely wanted to mention it. It wasn't an eyeshadow palette, but it's a blush palette. I feel like, I don't know if a lot of you guys were on the same boat as me, as you were wanting it, but then you may have realized you didn't buy it and realized most likely wouldn't be getting too much use out of it. I don't know. That's what happened to me. I wanted to definitely mention it in this video and include it since it is technically a palette. But yeah, those are all the palettes that I almost bought but then didn't. Let me know a couple of palettes that you were eyeing and then decided not to pick up. I would definitely be interested to know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!